Good evening. Welcome to the Kneejerk stream. Oh, messed the mic up there. Game week 3 is finished. We're about to look ahead to game week 4. Obviously, it's international break, so there's a couple of weeks off now until the next deadline, which can be a good or a bad thing depending on how your game week 3 went. If you've got a nice big green arrow, then happy days. You get 2 weeks of bliss, potentially. You might still wildcard, you might not. We're waiting to see what happens with injuries, international break, chaos, and all that usual stuff as well. If you had a red arrow like me, it's a little bit more annoying. I'm not going to make too many rash decisions. I've been wearing a hat today. Should have just kept the hat on, really, shouldn't I? I see lots of scores in the chat around 60-ish. Not too happy. I don't know. Like I'm on 66, I think, with a 4-point hit, so 62. It is a red arrow, but I'm still in the top 300k. And at this time of the season, that's probably okay. I think we won't see for another kind of. We won't see the scores kind of split too much for another 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, in terms of pure FPL, a couple of frustrating things happen for me. In fact, I'm just going to bring my team straight up. We can talk through it. Let me just check I've got it up here, which I do. So this is my team. So some nice things and some frustrating. I don't want to say that picking Bamford is frustrating because he did score, but I didn't go for Calvert-Lewin because he was flagged. And if I was picking between the two from Bamford or Calvert-Lewin for this week, for Game Week 4, I would choose Calvert-Lewin. So probably made a slight mistake there. Unless I don't go for Ronaldo, in which case I'll just get Calvert-Lewin in for Tony. So it might not be that big of an issue. Obviously, Greenwood scored again. Great for Man United. But for FPL, like 3 game weeks in a row now. And I'm going to continue to ignore him, I think. And the big one is I sold Gundogan and Mahrez. As if Mahrez comes off the bench and gets another return. And then Gundogan scores. I think I'm only down about 7 points because Gundogan got 9, Mahrez got 4. That's 13. The 4-point hit is 17, and Bamford and Rafinha got 10. So yeah, I'm down 7 points from that move. So it's frustrating, but I also saved myself 0.2 million, which is nice. So it's not the end of the world. I haven't had like an end of the world kind of week, and I'm sure if I sleep on it and think about it again tomorrow, I'll probably be okay with it, right? 277k rank is fine. I suspect that's higher than I probably was this time last season. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin's flagged with a different injury, but I'm sure he's going to probably be fine. I don't need to use a wild card at all, to be honest. I think the one thing that might make me consider it is if Jota was an option. So Firmino's hamstring injury kept him out for weeks rather than, back by game week 4. Because if that was the case, then I could easily do Fernandes and Tony to Jota and Ronaldo. But the problem is, if Ronaldo is 12.5, by the way, if he's 13, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But I could easily do that, apart from I've got Simicast blocking the Jota move. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think Adrian, by the way, thank you very much for that super sticker. I'm going to find it very difficult to not go into Game Week 4 with Ronaldo. Like extremely difficult. As long as he's fit and available, he's going to play at Old Trafford against Newcastle. Defence is poor. Almost certainly he's going to be on penalties. I know people keep saying, like, why do you assume he's definitely going to be on penalties? But I keep thinking, yeah, you could be right. Bruno could be on them. But when I think about it again, I'm just like, there's no way. Like, no way that Ronaldo isn't taking penalties. There just isn't a way. He's coming into that team. He's going to take him straight off Bruno. If the quality of the stream is low, I'd suggest upping the resolution manually. It should be fine. There's no way Ronaldo's going to be 11.5. I'm at the point now where I think he's 12.5 minimum. Not lower, for sure. From today's United game, Ronaldo won't get as many chances. Yeah, I know. It was a poor game. Wolves didn't deserve to lose. Should have been a foul from Pogba. Lucky, to be honest. Like, Wolves could have scored a lot of goals in that game. Luckily, some of the chances fell to Traore. Trincao was quite involved as well. I think he's one to keep an eye on. 5.9 million. Like, if I'm going for a Wolves midfielder this week, you probably just pick Traore, but I think Trincao could be nice, to be honest. Is he more likely to score? Possibly. Traore is a bit frustrating when it comes to that. Elsewhere, Leeds were... I don't know if anyone watched the Leeds game. When you've got 3 players in a game, and it's not like Liverpool versus Norwich or something like that. Like, it can be frustrating, and that was such a the amount of times Leeds it was just that. I know it's easy to say, well, it was just the final ball, right? That does kind of make a big difference across teams if you've got that player that can play it. But there was just a few times where they worked it into really good positions. And it was just that final touch or that final ball, like Rafinha playing it across goal when he could have cut it, because Bamford he basically went into run and stopped his run, and the defender went and he stayed back on the penalty spot, and Rafinha just put it across the goal. There was no one there. If he just looked up, he could have just played it back to Bamford. So. And also, I thought Leeds got... Again, I've not checked the stats, right? So maybe my eye test will be wrong. But I felt like Leeds got caught in possession quite a lot, where they just didn't release the ball or make a pass quick enough. It was... Like, from an FPL-only point of view, it was massively frustrating, that game. There was definitely more returns in it. But also, Burnley did well as well. So, I mean, whether Barnes should have been on the pitch or not, I don't know. But they also created a good few chances. So... I don't think I'm not annoyed that Ayling lost his clean sheet, right? I mean, it is a Leeds defender after all. Veltman got some minutes though, so hopefully he'll be back in the first team for next week. Because if I could really do with that, because this is my team for next week. If Veltman's fit, I'll just play. If he's available or in the first 11, I'll just play him. I'll probably risk it anyway, unless he gets an injury or something. And then if he doesn't play, okay, well, Ayling comes in. It's not great, but it is what it is. So I don't think the team is looking too bad. Obviously, international break, what's going to happen in a few days is the transfer window is going to shut. And then we'll know, obviously, which teams have bought which players. So there's a lot of talk about West Ham signing a couple of midfielders, possibly Lingard. I think it's Vlasic as well. So possibly Ben Rama's minutes could be numbered going forward. I don't think I would necessarily sell him straight away, but it is a consideration I've thought about for a little while anyway. And I think obviously now that they've not done great against Burnley, the double Leeds looks poor. But even if I wildcarded, I would still definitely have Rafinha. And so I said, until Ronaldo was a thing, I probably would have had Bamford as well on a wildcard. It just looks bad now because they've got to play Liverpool. But after that, the fixture run's pretty nice for Leeds. So I'm thinking about a wildcard. I've got a team in mind, but unless Jota becomes an option, I just don't think I would do it. Because if Jota's a nailed option for the fixtures that Leeds have, but even if it's just for 3 or 4 fixtures, then they're ridiculous fixtures. But Firmino's got a hamstring injury; it needs to be scanned. Like, he could be back just after the international break. I mean, Jota might get minutes anyway. I'm not saying he won't. And obviously, Jota did start the first 2 games of the season anyway, so he is a bit of a tempter. Like, if I was wildcarding, I'd strongly consider Jota, I think. So I'd have a Ronaldo, Antonio, Calvert-Lewin front line with Rafinha, Jota, Salah, and then someone else cheap, probably a Wolves midfielder. Am I going for any Wolves assets? Probably not. I don't know. If I go for Ronaldo, it'll have to be Fernandes and Tony to Ronaldo plus a midfielder around 7.8 million. So I could go for Traore or Trincao, something like that, but I don't know if I would do that over someone like Torres at Man City. Again, let's see if Man City buy a new striker. But if they don't, it looks like it's going to be Torres or De Bruyne playing up front. Shaw doesn't look great on the eye test. Lucky clean sheet. He could be on borrowed time. I'm not too concerned about Shaw. The big excuse me. I need to clear this. Annoying, sorry. The big thing today was Pogba playing with Fred in the 2. It just doesn't work. Like, we need McTominay back. Even Fred and McTominay would be better. With Varane there as well. I'm really not concerned about Shaw at all. Like, Newcastle, he got 3 home games in the next 4. Newcastle, Villa, Everton, West Ham away. I could see another 2 clean sheets in there somewhere. I'm not saying like Newcastle 1. I mean, Wilson's obviously an issue, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about Shaw. I just think there's way more. I mean, maybe if you're on a wildcard, you could ditch him, but I'm not sure I would just yet. I don't know who Man City can get now. Yeah, you're probably right. It's tough. You're 7 points behind and also 130,000 places. Yeah, it's crazy. I've had plenty of water. I don't know why it's happening right now. Probably just haven't been talking all weekend. Not on streams or whatever. What are the underlying stats for Wolves? I mean, I haven't looked them up, but I did see the stat on Sky Sports say they've had like 5 expected goals so far, and they've scored none. I mean, part of that is down to Traore not being a great finisher. But the goals are coming. Defensively as well, I would look at someone like Semedo, I think, on wildcard. Like, I would definitely consider him. Like, for my team, for example, if I was wildcard, I might do Veltman to Duffy and Ayling up to Semedo. Because I don't think they're giving away too many chances, Wolves, and they've played 3 pretty good teams. And the numbers were already quite good last year. So, yeah, I'd be tempted to look at someone like Semedo for sure. Is Aubameyang a good shout for the game against Norwich? Yeah, I guess so, just because it's Norwich. I'm not sure I wouldn't want to be wasting transfers personally on Aubameyang, I don't think. I got 55. I'm definitely going to wildcard, says Rio Ibrahim. Don't just use your score for a reason to wildcard. I mean, if you've got issues, then do it. Sometimes you are just going to have bad weeks, and you're not always going to be able to wildcard. Yeah, Demarai Gray looks okay for 5.5 million. I guess with the fixtures, he might be the best option right now. I still stand by the fact I'm just not convinced that 5.5 million is a spot worth using in midfield. Like, if you think that most people are going to have like Antonio. I think going forward, it's going to be 3-4-3. It's either going to be... Some people on wildcard are going for like Ronaldo and Lukaku, fair enough. But I think for most people, it's going to be 3 medium price forwards. So Antonio, Bamford, Calvert-Lewin, Jimenez, maybe some Wilsons thrown in. I think Tony will start to get moved on. Or they're going to have 1 premium, probably Ronaldo for now, plus 2 of the players I just mentioned. So once you do that and you have like Salah... and maybe you have a couple of 7 million midfielders and possibly like Rafinha or Traore or Trincao or I don't know, Saka maybe. I just don't see where the 5.5 million spot comes into play. Yeah, I just famous last. I just don't know about Demarai Gray. I'm just not that convinced. Maybe look, boost of confidence playing in the Premier League now, week in, week out, by the looks of it. But I'd only do it if I really need to fund another move. Like right now, I'd probably go for Trincao or maybe Traore. I'm still not massively convinced by Traore either. Ready Can Dance, thank you. 80 Football, have you given up on the Tierney idea? Not completely, but I've got to be honest. Like, Arsenal do worry me a little bit at the moment. They're really tough to call because obviously they've had 2 really tough fixtures, but I just don't know if Arteta is good enough to turn it around. He's obviously had. I don't know. Like Arsenal fans, right? And I'm being serious here. Like I'm not trying to like mess about Arsenal or rubbish, but I feel like there's just no like consistency with Arsenal. It's always different players playing all the time. Like that happens sometimes. Like Man City rotate, we know that. Man United, right? They had Greenwood, then they put Martial out front, then they put Greenwood back up front. Like players do get taken in and out, but it feels like there's no consistency in the way that Arsenal, the players they have and the way they want to play. I mean, he wants to play like Man City possibly, but he just doesn't have the players for that. But they've got the fixtures. So if Arsenal suddenly got a few clean sheets, if they got like 2 clean sheets in the next 4, so we got Norwich up next. Pookie though, they got to keep Pookie out. Then Burnley, Spurs, Brighton, Palace, Villa. Like if they got 2 or 3 clean sheets in those fixtures, I wouldn't be that surprised because the fixtures are just that good. But I just don't know what Arsenal are. I just don't know what they are. And I think Tierney is great. If I had Tierney, I would not be worried because I think he's quite attacking. But I don't think I'm going to look to bring him in on a free transfer for sure. And if I was wildcarding between him and Semedo, I think that would be quite a tricky decision as well. I might actually opt for Tierney if I thought about it for a bit longer. But I just don't know. They've just been really bad. And I just don't know. Let's see what happens in the rest of the transfer window. Do they offload some players? I'm just not convinced at all by Arsenal right now. But they've had tough fixtures, so it's a hard balance. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if I had Arsenal players. Like if I'd kept them through the bad fixtures, that was my plan. Ben White, Tierney, you get in Saka in, whatever it is, then I'll be okay with it. But like Aubameyang, I just feel like they've got so many attackers. Like I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't know what their best 11 is. But I said this on the deadline show. You got Pepe, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, Lacazette. You got like 6 players. I'm sure like Martinelli is more that I haven't even mentioned. 6 players for those kind of 3 to 4 forward spots. It's a lot of rotation there. As an Arsenal fan, I'd say don't waste any time looking at Arsenal players. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I'll be taking a hit for Ronaldo. Ings out. Sold Salah to finance the move. Oh, you sold Salah. Don't sell Salah. Leeds haven't been convincing in general. People still overlooking Son. Yeah, Son's great. I got so many mentions when Antonio got his points. Oh, you told me to captain Son. You told me to captain Son. And obviously, Son does what he does. Gets 10 points. Happy days. Hwang Hee Chan. Yeah, I got to be honest. I looked him up. Seems that he mostly plays striker, right? Although has played left or right wing. Is there going to be some rotation at Wolves? That's the only question on my mind. Is Jimenez doesn't seem like a player that's going to be dropped, but they've just signed this pretty decent striker, right? So is he going to take one of the wider spots? Are they going to play him out there? Does that mean Trincao or Traore are going to be rotated at times? Are they just going to be off at like 60, 70 minutes? Will Jimenez get a rest from time to time? I kind of got a few worries about that. Salah will destroy Leeds. Yeah, Salah. I would definitely not want to have taken Salah out before Leeds. I mean, I guess you consider yourselves a little bit unlucky if you took Salah out for the Chelsea game, right? Because Chelsea's a tough game. But, I mean, Salah, like Fernandes, he's just on penalties, and they can happen at the most annoying times when you sell someone, right? Oh, my God. My throat will not clear itself. FPL tips, how is it going? Will you be selling Bruno? I plan to. Not sure if we go Torres or Adama. Hope you're well. Yes, I probably will. I got to be honest, I said this on Twitter the other day. I'm very glad that I got a good rank last year because I just... Like, realistically, I know my move this week should probably be Tony to Calvert-Lewin, just Captain Fernandes like was the plan all along and leave it at that. But I just cannot ignore Ronaldo. I just can't do it. He's going to be on penalties. It's Newcastle at home. Like, one of the fittest players probably still in the game right now, and he's 36. I just... look, I gotta be honest, I would find it quite amusing if I and loads of people sold Fernandes for Ronaldo and then against Newcastle they get 2 penalties and Fernandes takes them both and it's 2-0. I would find that hilarious. But yeah, but I've got to do it for a hit, which is a bit annoying. So I do wonder, could I just, like, if I'm thinking I want Calvert-Lewin over Bamford and then Benrahma, is he going to be an issue? I do think the wildcard could come out. I'm not completely saying no to it. So I save a 4-point hit. I change Benrahma, which could be a mistake. I change Bamford to Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, Tony goes. I fix my defenders. I get rid of Tsimikas. If Jota's an option, I think I'll wildcard, to be honest. I think I probably will. Although prices are not good. Like this is why I wanted to get Calvert-Lewin in first, because I knew if he'd scored again, his price was going to go up, and he looks close to a rise again, which is frustrating. Yeah, okay. Ready, Kindan. So I've just seen your question about Arsenal. I feel like we definitely just discussed that enough. Aubameyang, you, thank you very much. Finished on 75. Oh, I've lost the chat. Finished on 75 points. Just took an 8-point hit. Grealish, Fernandes, Obafemi out. Lukaku, Greenwood, Smith Rowe in. Thoughts? You went for Lukaku over Ronaldo. I feel like it's got to be Ronaldo first. Like, I know Chelsea have got Villa, right? That's a great game. Easily could be a hat-trick for Lukaku, right? But Man United have got Newcastle, West Ham, Villa, Everton. I just think the fixtures are better. I feel like if you're going to make a transfer or a wildcard, I think if you're only going to get one, I feel like you get Ronaldo and then you switch to Lukaku. Lukaku's cheaper, though, to be fair. I've got to keep remembering that. So he's easier for people to get in. But overall, I quite like that. Greenwood is just one of those annoying players. Like, great for Man United, right? But for FPL, it's so annoying because... I'm going to keep ignoring him because he could lose his place soon, but then he's playing so well. Like, I still have doubts that... I still have concerns that Solskjaer has doubts about him. Like, even today after the game, he was talking about the fact that him and Gareth Southgate had talked, and then Solskjaer said, I know he wants to play for England, but I think right now he should just be concentrating on his club football. I don't know. I know he's protecting him. I still doubt that he thinks he can play week in, week out. But I haven't been wrong so far because I said he's probably nailed for 3 to 4 weeks. But Newcastle's a great game. He probably will start on that one too. Sancho left, Greenwood right, possibly Ronaldo through the middle. But the thing is, Pogba didn't work out in a 2, so they could put Pogba straight back to the left. So I'm still very cautious over Greenwood, but I should say that has absolutely killed me in the last 3 weeks. So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask about him. Which Chelsea player would you suggest for either midfield or defence? Can't afford Lukaku. Well, probably would have been Reece James before he got his red card. I think outside that, it's probably got to be Rudiger. Christensen started the last 3, but I don't know if that's always going to happen. And midfield, I guess Mason Mount and Havertz look about as nailed as they're going to get. Mount's obviously a little bit cheaper. I think Havertz is more likely to get you points though. I think again, Chelsea fans in the chat, I would say that Mount's maybe a little bit more nailed than Havertz. Would you agree? Like, what the hell is going to happen to Ziyech and Pulisic and all those lot? Mental. Ronaldo won't play game before picking up a knee injury against Ireland. So he won't have much time to train with United. Come on. I'm not having it. If he picks up an injury, fine, but otherwise he's going to play. Alonso now a good shout with James suspended. Well, obviously they play on different sides, and Alonso's been playing anyway. So again, I don't know how long that's gonna happen for, but and we're back. We should be back. I don't get this. It just drops to 0. It's winding me up. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, my bad. I don't know. It just drops to 0. It says it's disconnected, then it reconnects. I don't get it. Was Reece James sending off? I think by the letter of the law it was. He does kind of swing his arm towards it as well. It's a bit unlucky, I know, but yeah, it was harsh, but I think it probably was a red by the letter of the law, right? I got Greenwood. Might be FPL bias, but he should keep his place based on form. He's been out and out best winger striker for Man United in the first 3 games. Sure, but look, again, I don't listen to me when I talk about Greenwood because I've got it wrong all season so far. I have not got it wrong, again, because I said he was nailed for probably going to be fine for the first 3 to 4. But from game week 4, let's say Ronaldo's there. Right, he's definitely playing striker. No one's arguing about that, right? He's not going to play Mason Greenwood over Cristiano Ronaldo. So Ronaldo's going to be up front. They've got to play Sancho to get him into some kind of form as well. I watched like the first few minutes and thought, he's done some nice little pass and move, and then he played pretty poor for the whole game. So I think no, Facecam's not frozen. That's just me. I think he's got to play Sancho, right, and then Pogba. Pogba was really poor today. Where has he been great? He's been great on the left. So I don't know if it's a given. I agree that he's been good enough that he has to keep playing, but there's so many players to fit in. He's not going to keep playing 90. But I don't know. But I agree. He's been brilliant. He has been brilliant. And he just has that eye for goal. I mean, he was a bit fortunate today, but in general, there, both feet, doesn't matter. Bam, goals are coming. Hit that like button, by the way. Let's get to 1,000 likes already. That'd be great. Contemplating a wildcard to shift money from defence. Luka Dean Shaw so far to get heavy hitters plus Torres. Thoughts? Yeah, sounds okay. I think... Hang on. Also, Leno 4.9 is an option for relegation. High-saving goalkeeper with a great run. That was a dig at Arsenal, I guess. I don't know if I would go for Leno personally. I think for 4.9, I'd rather have Tierney. I know he's a bit of an injury concern. Yeah, with a wild card, right? Here's my general thoughts. What everyone is waiting for a wild card is mass changes, right? Where you're changing like the whole team, or you've got like 8 injuries. It almost never happens because we manage our teams, right? Sometimes we overmanage them. And we're always getting them into the best possible condition, or at least hoping to, based on the fixtures, based on which players are playing who, or what kind of form they're in, or whatever it might be. And so it's very rare you actually have as many issues as you almost want to have for a wild card. So if you're going to if you're going to change like a few key players, getting some big players with really good fixtures to come, and you fix your defense and your bench and stuff, it's not the worst time to wildcard. But a lot of people just have a team that's fine. I think you have to look at, it's not just about how many changes you're making, it's how many like substantial changes you're making. Like for me, if I was wildcarded, the main things I'd probably be doing is Fernandes to Ronaldo and switching Bamford to Calvert-Lewin. I could change the defenders a bit, but I don't know if it's worth a wildcard. But if I got a few injuries over the break, I probably would do it. And the thing is, again, like, so some people will say, well, what about Chelsea's fixture swing in Game Week 7? Well, you just swap some players out for them, right? So Ronaldo's got 3 nice fixtures for Man United. So if you went with him in Game Week 7, when Man United's fixtures get a bit worse, you just swap him to Lukaku, like everyone else. Or you just start with two big strikers, right? When is Ronaldo being added to FPL? So they tweeted about it, basically saying they're waiting for it to be official. So Man United have just said obviously they've got an agreement, but there's no medical. It's not like officially signed off. So FPL won't officially put him in the game. But annoyingly, they also won't give us a price. I'm going to say 12.5, 13 at a stretch. Surely Ronaldo won't start against Newcastle. What? Like, I gotta be honest, I don't get why people think that. Like my question would be, and this is a very cop-out answer, but why wouldn't he start? He's already had I think he's had pre-season with Juventus. I think he's played minutes in one of the games. He's probably going to get minutes in the international break. He's a super fit player. He's a Man United legend. They've just signed him. He's, to some people, right? I'm not getting into the argument. For some people, he's the greatest player to ever play the game, or the greatest player to ever play the game in the last 15 years. He doesn't need to learn anything. He just needs to stand around in the box and score goals, right? So I just... if Solskjaer says he's not ready, but I mean, trying to get used to the Man United system, you just put one of the greatest goal scorers that's ever played the game, you just put them on the pitch, I think. Like, I mean, I'm not a genius, but I think that's what you do. So, yeah. Messi is on the bench. Yeah, but I get it, but Messi hasn't had I don't think Messi's had a pre-season, has he? Messi joined PSG but hasn't started for 3 matches. Yeah, I don't look at Sancho and Varane, but they didn't have I don't think they had a pre-season, did they? Varane was wasn't Varane isolating for a bit? I'll be very surprised if Cristiano Ronaldo does not play. If he's fit, like if Solskjaer says there's an injury concern or a fitness concern, then that's different. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Will Ronaldo actually outscore Lukaku next 4? Yeah, I think so. Maybe not next 4, but next 3. But the thing is, like, Villa is a great game for Lukaku, but Newcastle's a great game for Ronaldo, right? So Newcastle, Villa, and Everton, they're 3 good fixtures in the next 4. And if you really wanted to, you could switch in 7 to Lukaku anyway. I gotta be honest, I find it hard to believe that I have to sit here and defend Ronaldo. Like, we're talking about one of the best players to ever play football. Like, ever play football. One of the best goal scorers that has ever played the beautiful game. I find it weird that I have to, like... Is Newcastle a good fixture for him? Is Newcastle a good fixture for one of the best players to ever play football? He is 36, but he's still been scoring goals. I'm not saying he's the same Ronaldo that he always has been, but... The idea that he won't like do really well, I find it strange. So he scored 29 goals last year for Juventus, 31 the year before that. I mean, I think he's quite good at football. It seems like it's always a routine that new players always have to have the first game on the bench and come on. Yeah, look, yeah. I just don't think that will happen. Does Ronaldo get assists? Let me see. I don't know, actually. Don't know how many assists he's got recently. He got 2 assists last year, 5 the season before, 8, 5, 6, 11, 16. That's a long time ago. But I think did Ronaldo not score more non-penalty goals than Lukaku last year, I thought? Routine, he's freaking Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, I maybe see a game or 2 holding on to Bruno. Again, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that holding Bruno is not necessarily a smart player. I don't think that's a bad play at all. But the idea that we have to like see how good Ronaldo is first is just madness. I think it's just madness. And again, I could be wrong. Maybe he doesn't play against Newcastle. Maybe I saw like one of the Sky journalists was like, you know, Ronaldo and Alex Ferguson will be at the game against Newcastle. I thought, well, I hope Ronaldo will be at the game. He's going to be on the pitch. There's no way Ronaldo gets classified as a midfielder. He will 100% be a forward. He has to pass the eye test first. Yeah. He's not proven himself under Solskjaer. He's going straight into the team. He has to. He has to. Okay. Okay, sorry, I missed some stuff here. Show us a wildcard draft with Salah and Kane. I'm not going to go through wildcard drafts in this one. I'll do a video on it, though, soon. Van Persie was never on the bench. Like, people keep saying to me stuff like, what if he doesn't start? What if this? And I keep thinking, oh, maybe you got a point. And then I keep thinking, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's starting. Come on. What does he need to learn at 36? Here's the Man United system. We just put all the good players on the pitch and try and score. You're the best. You go up front. And when a penalty comes, it's yours. Even though you're not as good as Bruno Fernandes, you can still have it. We're talking about a 36-year-old who's been playing in a much slower league. It would be phenomenal if you can get up to speed with the tactics they play within a week. But we're not just talking about a 36-year-old. We're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, the 36-year-old. Ronaldo isn't even that great. Oh, my God. We could be here all day. Sell Bruno before the Newcastle games just so I can laugh at all of yous. Yeah, could be. Anonymous Fix, thank you. Do you think Torres is a good long-term option? I do if he's going to keep playing, but as always, it's Pep, so who knows? I mean, Jesus is keeping Mahrez out of the side at the moment, playing right wing. It's madness. If they don't sign a striker, it looks good. I think it was Pep that said that his movement's like Jamie Vardy, which is a pretty big compliment. Obviously, he'd always compliment his players, but that was a pretty big one, I thought. So I do if he's going to keep that spot. What I'd like to see is what happens when De Bruyne gets back. But I think the fact that Grealish has been playing on the left, or can play on the left, and then Gundogan has obviously been playing well as well. They could just play Gundogan, De Bruyne as eights. Maybe play Grealish on the left when they need him to. And then Torres could keep the place up front or get good minutes. So for 7 million, it probably got to 7.1 very soon. Then yeah, I think he could be a decent option. But I would like to see what happens when the transfer window closes. Joe, welcome. Thoughts on Dallas? Keep us out. Sell. I think Mount is more now, but we have so many attacking options, and Tuchel will change a lot depending on the opponent. Excuse me, sorry. Jonathan, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think I agree. Mount is definitely more nailed. Maverick, 7.8k overall rank. Very nicely done. Still have 2 free transfers and all chips. Do you think I should wildcard or go Ings and I got to be honest, if you're 7.8k, you've probably got a lot of players. Obviously, you've had a lot of players that have done well, and most of the players that have done well are probably going to have probably got either going to continue to do well or have got good fixtures. So you probably just keep hold of them. So without seeing your team, I can't say, but I'd be surprised if you need to wildcard. Your 2 transfers sound much better. Gavin, 2 free transfers in the bank, but due a few price drops. Thoughts on protecting team value against rolling transfers for after the international break? Yeah, so I'll be honest, the last international break, this time last year, when it was between Game Week 4 and 5. When it was between Game Weeks 4 and 5, I went early to protect team value, and then I got forced into a wild card because I got somebody in that got injured. I think it was De Bruyne. He got injured on international duty. So I would only do it if you're either a really risky player, manager, or it's very tight, the money. If you're just going to lose 0.2 million, but you can still make the moves, I'd be tempted to wait. Or maybe just do one of them and then wait. Is this an early wildcard type of season? What would be your wildcard team if you use it now? Yeah, I'm not going to do wildcard drafts on the stream, but yeah, it could be an early wildcard type of season. It all depends on your team. There's some people who are like in the top 10, 20, 30, 40k, and their teams are great. They're going to have like Wilson and Ings and Calvert-Lewin and Salah, and they're going to be fine. They're just going to swap Ings to Calvert-Lewin or Bamford or someone like that, or even to Ronaldo, and just move on. So you don't necessarily need to do that. CR7, agree that he'll start. He'll be on penalties, all agree, but this is the Premier League, he's 36. There must be some degree of doubt, that's it. Yeah, but if it wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo, I'd probably have the same doubt. I don't know. Maybe you'll be right. Maybe the Ronaldo doubters will be correct. But yeah, I suspect it'll just be fine. You are making me doubt myself a little bit, but I keep thinking it's like I tweeted earlier. I keep thinking, yeah, but it's Cristiano Ronaldo. By the way, something we should have talked about. Aston Villa have confirmed that Martinez and Buendia have travelled with Argentina, so they're going to miss game week 4. So it's Lukaku versus a no Martinez team. I think someone else said that in the chat earlier. So that is pretty nice. That is pretty nice. Ronaldo will be used like Van Persie was, coming off the bench as a super sub. Wait, what? Off the bench? Ronaldo is a super sub. Come on now. Come on. Does it matter if CR7 starts or not? He'll play regardless. It's a question of whether Kane or De Bruyne has better potential in the next 4 game weeks. Yeah. I would say fixtures-wise, Ronaldo probably wins it. De Bruyne is not a bad shout. We always forget about De Bruyne, I think. But again, he's not been fit. So do we really need to worry? He has to play Chelsea and Liverpool in the next 4 as well. I think Man United's fixtures are better, to be honest. I think Hwang Hee-chan is the first ever Chan in Premier League. Quite possibly, yeah. Wilson or Tony out this week. Probably Tony. I just think he's about to run into a few horrible fixtures. I know Wilson's got Man United, but after that, the fixtures are pretty good. Chintan, I'm at 178k with a red arrow and 2 free chances. Good rank, to be honest. Maybe Barnes to Rafinha. Sounds nice, but maybe not this week. Ings to DCL. Yes, sounds good. That sounds like a good plant to be seeding. Yeah. You're sticking with 2 big hitters or looking to move to 3? I'm probably sticking with 2. I don't think 3 premiums works unless you sell Trent. I just think there's too many sacrifices to keep Trent and 3 premiums. I think the team is just poor. You have to have like 5.5 million and 6 million midfielders, and they could be good, like Traore or someone, but I just like Rafinha I really like still, even though it wasn't ideal today. So I just don't think it works. If you're willing to get rid of Trent, then maybe. But again, the fixtures over the next kind of 4 or 5 are pretty decent for Liverpool. I just don't think it's the time to be losing him. Would I keep Benrahma on wildcard? I would strongly consider taking him out, especially if West Ham signs someone that can play in his position. And that could be one of those moves where you just get punished because they've got good fixtures and he continues to keep his place, he keeps scoring. But I think I would take the risk on wildcard to remove him, to be honest. I think there's a lot of kind of 6 to 6.5 million options to choose from. Lukaku will return many points, correct, unless he's playing Liverpool. I can't afford the Ings and Calvert-Lewin transfer. Should I wild? No. You don't want a wildcard just because you can't do Ings to Calvert-Lewin. In most cases, I would probably just take a hit or just don't do it. Wait till the next week. Why, after the points you got, you still hate on Benrahma? This happens every season. It's okay. Like I'm not even going to answer that. Zoomer in now, solid from corners. Possibly, I still think Cresswell's probably better. I don't know actually, because I guess a goal for a defender is worth double what an assist is. I still think so far is the play if you go to West Ham defence. I think you just saved that money. Duffy, like him. I think in the short term he's probably nailed. Long term, who knows? What are your thoughts on Ronaldo's 500k plus wages? I don't think he's on 500k. I think he took a pay cut. I mean, he's still on ridiculous money, by the way. Will you activate the wildcard today to get the price? Nah, I'm not activating the wildcard because I'm not convinced I definitely need to do it. Like, again, just because it happened last season doesn't mean it'll happen again. But I didn't activate the wildcard until... So last year, the international break was between game week 4 and 5. So it was a week later. And I activated the wildcard on the deadline stream for game week 5. So I didn't worry about the price rises and falls at all. Like, I'm looking at them now. Okay, Lukaku could be annoying, but I'm already making wildcard teams to get Ronaldo in, so I could definitely afford Lukaku if I wanted to go that way. Alonso I'm not worried about. Benrahma's in my team. Torres, yeah, fair enough, but it's Calvert-Lewin that's the most annoying for me. And I think, like, looking at the players that are going to go down, I don't think... I mean, there's a lot of players that could go down, but I don't think I've got a huge amount of them. Like, Simicast is going to go down, but I'm not going to bank that money anyway, so whatever. It's annoying. It would have been nice to bank the money, but I didn't have the team to do it. If I'd started with Rafinha and Son, I probably would. Yeah, I think I'm probably okay. Yeah, Tony to Calvert-Lewin, but the thing is, if I do Tony to Calvert-Lewin and Ronaldo bangs like 2 or 3 goals, I'll be a full-on tilt, and I'll still want to make the move, even though it's not quite as good a move. There's a poll on the FPL subreddit about wildcard, and most are saying they're not wildcarded. Yeah, a lot of people will have good teams. They don't need to. Mount or Havertz. I'm going to say Mount. Especially when the fixtures aren't good. I'd rather just take the cheaper option. Jorginho is still on penalties. We don't really know for sure, but I think there's a good chance that he probably is. Lukaku more goal involvements than Ronaldo in Serie A. Yeah, but he's got worse fixtures. Fixtures matter. It's like last week. It was all this like Lukaku's the best player ever. I know Chelsea went down to 10 men, which did not help, but all the stuff about how many shots Lukaku had. I mean, it was Arsenal, right? And then they play Liverpool, and he blanks. I mean, fixtures matter. He's got to play Spurs and Man City. I don't think they're great fixtures. Villa, great fixture. Lukaku will take penalties. He might do, but obviously no one knows that for sure. You know I'm going to end up using the wild card. Okay, well, you know more than me then. If you know that I'm going to use the wild card, you know more than me. Son, keep or sell. In most cases, I'd probably just keep him for Palace, but I suppose it depends what you're going to do with him. One thing I'm pretty sure I'm going to do is Fernandes to Ronaldo, but... Okay, I tell you what I'm definitely not... I don't want to say definites, but what I'm probably not going to do is captain Fernandes, right? So if I keep Fernandes, fair enough... But I think captaining Salah against Leeds could be like a nice compromise. So I think I'm either doing Fernandes to Ronaldo or I'm not, but I'm still not captaining Fernandes. Yeah, look, I'm not going to sit here and argue that Lukaku might have scored against Liverpool, but how many goals is he going to get? Like 1? Like, who cares? Bamford got 1, Calvert-Lewin got 1. The fixtures are just not good for Lukaku. No one is doubting Lukaku, but fixtures matter. Fixtures matter. And I've said that like for ages. I've said that before he came into the game. I'm not just saying that now. I've been saying that since before he signed. Why not captain the man in form, Antonio? Yeah, Antonio not a bad shout. But the only reason I captained Antonio Salah's also pretty great, right? He's got 4 returns in the first 3 games and he's playing Leeds. So yeah, there's no way I'd captain Antonio over Salah. No way. He's brilliant, love the guy, but nah, come on. Against Leeds as well. Do you consider Ronaldo a must-have? No. No, nobody is fixture-proof. Nobody is fixture-proof. They might still get points, but their points potential will go down. Hardly any player ever gets a similar points per game in tough fixtures versus easy ones. It hardly ever happens. So the whole fixture-proof is a myth, right? Sure, Lukaku could score against Man City, but he's probably not going to score 2 or 3 goals, which he could do in easier fixtures. That's all I'm saying. Like, this is just an argument that's as old as time, right? We have this every single season. Fernandes, Ings, Duffy for Torres, Ronaldo if he's 12.5 size. Hit -8. Nah, I don't like the sound of a -8. Why do you need to do Duffy to size? You don't need that to do the Ronaldo move, right? Liam, thank you very much. Only Vardy gets points in big matches, possibly. You're being biased towards CR7. What am I being biased about? He's the greatest goal scorer, right? One of the greatest goal scorers of all time. And he's playing Newcastle at home. Like, that's not biased. That's just like... I don't know what that is. Like, I think FPL is like weird. If I don't say this player is great and he's always going to score points, it's like, well, you hate that player. You've got an agenda about that player. Lukaku is great for this week. Great. 2 or 3 goals could easily happen. Then it's Spurs, then it's Man City. I'd rather take my chances with Man United's fixtures. If Ronaldo's fit and available to start, that's all I'm saying. If I had to pick between the two. From game week 7, I'd have Lukaku over Ronaldo. So what more do you want me to say? It's a fixtures thing. No one. I'm not sitting here saying Lukaku cannot score against Man City or Spurs, but the points potential goes down. Simple as that. Does it for anyone? Why do you think I didn't captain Salah against Chelsea? Because it's a difficult fixture. Sure, he got the penalty, but that wouldn't stop me not captaining him again. Of course, I'm a fan of Ronaldo. Like, he's a Man United legend. But he's like. Again, I'm not going to sit here justifying one of the best goal scorers of all time anymore because it feels crazy that I have to do that. Apart from Son, Stannis, I'm not sure what that is in relation to be honest. Bruno or Son, and should I get Van Dijk? He looks brilliant pocketing Lukaku. I think preferably you want to spend a bit more money on Liverpool defenders and just get Trent, to be honest. Bruno or Son, I say Bruno for this week. I have wildcard for Game Week 4 and I'm wondering if I bring in someone and they go up 0.2 and I get rid of them before deadline, will I get to keep 0.1? Yes, if you bring a player in on your wildcard and they go up 0.2 million while they're in your wildcard, you can then sell them for 0.1. But also, don't sell a player that you've already had a price rise in that you want to keep, because then you lose that. Look at the fixture turn of Chelsea versus Man United from Game Week 7. Isn't Lukaku a better choice? Yes, I literally said that. Just listen. I literally said from Game Week 7, Lukaku's better. It's not Game Week 7. It's Game Week 4. And Man United have Newcastle. And then they have West Ham, I think. Yes, and then they have Aston Villa. So Man United get to play Aston Villa as well. But that's in Game Week 6. And to be honest, if you had to keep Ronaldo for Game Week 7 against Everton, that's not that bad either. But yes, Lukaku is better from Game Week 7. Stop shouting, we fund you. Oh my god, okay. Let me see. If you make the wildcard active, what happens to price rises and falls? Do they freeze? No, you get all the rises and all the falls. So you can dodge prices and make money. Son to Greenwood seems closer to nailed. What? Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying that Son wasn't nailed. Unless you need the money, I wouldn't do Son to Greenwood this week, personally. I think you'd keep him for Crystal Palace. I'm set up so I can play 2 from Lukaku, Ronaldo, Kane, and a third 7-8 million striker each week. With Salah set and forget in the midfield. 3-4-3, 20 million for 3 other mids. Nice. 20 million. So you got 7... You got about 6.33 million to spend on 3 midfielders. So obviously you'll have one a bit cheaper and then a couple more expensive. I'd love to see that team. You must have no Trent. You must have no Trent. Who do you think's most likely to get a 0.2 rise? That's a good question. I actually think a 0.2 rise is going to be difficult. Like Alonso's not going to go up twice. Torres maybe, because I think anyone that's about to go up now has probably got a good chance. So Torres potentially could go up twice. I don't think Lukaku would. Calvert-Lewin maybe, because he's flagged. It's going to slow down. I don't really see too many double rises to us. It doesn't happen that often anymore. Duffy and Ings out for Raul and Cody. I don't think you need to do the Duffy move. Can you not just do the Ings move? If you've got 2 free chances, maybe. Is Gundogan a sell or a hold? I mean, you could hold on to him. You've already taken all the price drops now. Is he about to go up? Sorry, he's not about to go up in price, but he's not going to fall in price again anytime soon. So, I mean, you've got Leicester and then Arsenal. Leicester and then Southampton. 2 decent enough fixtures. I think a lot depends on what happens with De Bruyne and stuff like that. But for now, he's a hold. I don't think you need to rush to get rid of Gundogan necessarily now. Like, as in, I don't think... Like, you don't need to rush to do it right now. Maybe you do it before the deadline still. People might have only just joined the chat and not heard what you said earlier. No, it was the same person that said it. That's why I said it like I did. It was the same person that said, you're biased. I said, no, Lukaku's better in Game Week 7. And it was like, do you not think that he's better for Game Week 7? I was like, yes. I just answered your first point. Like, I fully get that some people join the stream and they just ask the same question, right? I've never had an issue with that. It happens all the time, especially on deadline streams. But Yeah. Anyway, I like Ronaldo, and I think he's quite good. I'll leave it there until we talk about him again. Tony out. Yeah, I think Tony out is fine. Is Trent a must-have? I mean, I don't like really calling too many players must-haves, but Leeds, Palace, Brentford, Man City, Watford. How many clean sheets are in there? 2, maybe 3. Palace at home, and then maybe 1 or 2 of Brentford and Watford away. I don't actually see too many. Like, Liverpool's fixtures aren't ideal because Leeds is tricky enough to get a clean sheet against. Brentford and Watford are both away. Again, you'd suspect that Liverpool could get clean sheets there, but they're both away. And then one of the home matches is Man City. And then they've got Man United away as well. So I still wouldn't want to get rid of Trent because 4 in the next 5 are Leeds, Palace, Brentford and Watford. I just think it's too good to turn down. Like, Trent's just so good. But he's the only way, I think, realistically, that you get 3 premiums if you get rid of him. CR7 over Salah. I'm just gonna, for FPL, Salah is the GOAT. Like right now. So even with Ronaldo coming in, Salah is still like top priority for me, especially with the fixtures got coming up. So if I had a choice between getting Salah in or Ronaldo, it would be Salah. No questions asked. He's a midfielder as well. Ronaldo will almost certainly be a forward. What should you do if you take an L on transfers and needing to transfer CR7 when he's added? I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, there's not much you can do, right, until he's in the game, right? Please speak about Lamptey. Not really sure what there is to say. Don't even know if he's going to be back after the break, and that's it. Trent and Matip, you still get the clean sheets. You do, but Matip is just like... I mean, it's not that he has no attacking threat. In fact, what do his numbers kind of say? My main issue with Matip is... And you can get caught out if you keep like ignoring injury-prone players, like Antonio, for example. People that ignored him, it's not looking good right now. But I just think Matip just doesn't play enough games. Like if we look at the matches played, like 3, 10, 9. Obviously, some of that is to do with Gomez being first choice, but I just worry about him. Decent-ish goal for it, I guess. I mean, what do you not like about Trent? He's on 22. He's averaging 7 points a game, and he has 4 out of 5 really good games to come. I don't know why you would doubt him, to be honest. Obviously, he's had some good fixtures, but he's still got some good fixtures to come. I know it's very obviously it's easy to say, well, Reguilon and I'm looking now, Jansen, etc. have got similar points, but you want players you can easily predict it with, and Trent is one of them. Again, I don't think that going Trentless on a wildcard is necessarily a bad idea. I just don't think I could do it right now. What's my plan during the international break? I've got videos planned for all this week, pretty much. Matip not nailed. I think he actually is nailed. Again, not a Liverpool fan, so feel free to disagree. But I think the fact that he started the season and continues to start every week, and the defenses look pretty good, I think he's nailed until he gets injured. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's the case. Any chance of a Greenwood price rise? Let me see. He's going up. So he's got 3 bars going up. 57.9. So he probably will get a price rise before the deadline. But again, it's not going to be... The thing is, people switch off when it's international break. So they're not necessarily going to go up in price as much as you think. As a Liverpool fan, I'd consider Matip nailed. Like, I feel like the signs are all there. He started the season and he's continued to play. I just don't know why he would disrupt that right now. I think Van Dijk is obviously huge, but having a regular partner to play against is great as well. Gomez still isn't 100%, and Konate is still learning the system. No, I get that. I know they've got like really good replacements, but I just don't know why he would break that up. Like Matip's pretty good. Matip's a pretty good defender. He just never fit. So I think Klopp would be fine with it. So yeah, I think he is fit. I just wouldn't ever trust his fitness, which is the issue. What is the best predictor app or website for what now? Do you mean like team lineups? I would just use Fantasy Football Scout. Neil's really good for them, if that's what you mean. I think Gomez is good. I just don't think Matip loses his place, that's all. Is Luke Shaw the biggest disappointment so far? I mean, he got 4 points last week, got a clean sheet this week. I'd say no, to be honest. So am I saying that Matip's good cover for Trent? No, I'm not saying that. I mean, he's good for the clean sheets, but he doesn't have any attack. Doesn't have as much attacking threat. Plus, he's a bit more injury prone. Oh, sorry, you're talking about price predictions. If you're talking about price predictions, I use FPL statistics. So FPL statistics price predictions, Fantasy Football Scout for team predictions is what I do. Someone asked me about whether I rate the Spurs defence. I'm still not quite sure about them, although I did say the fixtures are quite good, so they could get 1 or 2 over the next couple of games, which they did again today. To be fair, anyone that went on Spurs defence from the off is looking proper good right now. They conceded 6 shots in the box this week. It's not too bad, similar to like Liverpool, Wolves. So yeah, I if I was wildcarding, I might consider it, just because obviously once you've wildcarded, you can't keep making loads of changes every week. And obviously Palace is a good fixture, but then it's Chelsea, then it's Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, Man United. I just don't know how many clean sheets they're getting over that period. Maybe Palace, maybe Villa, Newcastle. I don't know. I'm still not massively excited by him. But for cheapness, I mean, Dyer's obviously there, 4.6 million. When do you think you use triple captain? Not till a double game week. Livramento or Basuma off the bench for Reece James red card replacement. Liveramento's got a bad fixture, right? West Ham. I'd probably just play Basuma, I think. Yeah, Dyer's not bad for the old bonus points. That is correct. What about having a Watford player, maybe Sarr? Yeah, they're about to go into some pretty good fixtures. I don't know how good a fixture Wolves is, to be fair, but from this week onwards, they're not bad. Sarr might drop in price. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong player here. Watford. Yeah, Wolves. Yeah, it is Wolves this week. Sorry. Then Norwich, Newcastle, Leeds. So the next 4 aren't bad. And then it's Liverpool, which isn't great. But then it's Everton, Southampton. So I think you could almost get away with Sarr up until game week 10. He is possibly going to drop in price though, which is a bit annoying. Would you ever do a match day challenge watch along? Yeah, the one that Mark and Az did was really good. I just feel like match day is quite long. So you've got to watch all the bits in between, and then you can't talk to the chat. So for me, if I didn't have anyone else on, I'd just be talking to myself, essentially. Yeah, Wolves looking really good. Wolves looking really good. Is there a rush to get Ronaldo in? No, like if you don't want to get him, don't get him. Like, I'm not saying that he's. I've said this already. He's not essential. I'm not saying he is. And to be honest, I would say that doing Fernandes to Ronaldo for a -4, like some people can do it for free, but for a -4, it's probably not actually a good move. Fernandes could get points, right? And obviously you lose the -4 as well. It's a good fixture against Newcastle. You could argue that it's a poor move, but I just don't think I can resist. I just don't think I can resist. Most of the time, hits aren't worth it. I did mine last week because I wanted to protect value. I wasn't sure if Mahrez was going to start, and he didn't. A bit frustrating. He got points off the bench, but I wasn't frustrated about it the week before. But as a general rule, a lot of hits just are not good, so you should try and avoid them. So I don't even know if Fernandes to Ronaldo for a hit is a good move, to be honest. But I still might do it. By what game week do you expect to be in the top 10k? Who knows? I might never get to the top 10k. It's tough to get there. I'm not worried about it right now, right? Because, I mean, there'll be a lot of people in the top 10k. Points will move about soon. It'll be tough to stay in there. I've done it a few times before, top 10k, so I feel like a little bit of the pressure's off. Like, I've done top 10k 3 times. I've finished in the top 22k like 7 or 8 times now. So, I mean, top 22k, it's not got a nice ring to it, but I feel like there's a bit of pressure off. But I don't want to just take it for granted either. Do you think I will understand FPL if I watch your videos and streams? I hope so, yeah. We fund you. What a stupid comment. Yeah, obviously I appreciate everyone that watches, but it's like when you're in customer service and someone says, "I'm paying your wage." Just like, just get out of here. 22k is still mad. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with my rank history, to be honest. I'd love it to be just that little bit more elite, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like still waiting for like a top 50 or a top 20 or a top 10k finish. Like I've done it a few times already. If I should have like when I first started playing, I took a lot of hits. I should already have a couple more top 10ks, but I guess anyone could say that, right? Nuno has made Spurs better defensively. So, interestingly, Tottenham are in the bottom 4 for shots conceded in the box. I don't know what that is in expected data, though. Tottenham have conceded only 0.52 less expected goals than Leeds so far. They're not even in the top half. So, I don't know about Spurs just yet. But they've got some good fixtures to come. What time did the stream start? An hour and 6 minutes ago, so we'll be off soon. Is the top 1,000 managers from Game Week 2? Do you mean the video? The last one I did was like 2,000 people responded. I'm probably going to do something like that for this week. If Dan James goes to Brighton, would you consider him as a 6 million asset? Nah. I don't rate Dan James at all. I can't believe he still starts for Man United sometimes. Like, good squad player, I guess, but for Man United, nah. And for Brighton, nah. He's even good enough for Brighton. If Calvert-Lewin's injured, it makes my life a lot easier, but I don't think he will be. Would I get rid of Greenwood? No. I think Newcastle at home next. You got to take that and just run. You got to be just happy with that. I think that's a real good fixture, you know. I think there is a chance it starts again. General question: under what circumstances is it okay to take a hit? Yeah, I mean, again, I always say this. Like, it's very hard to give like this is the exact time you could do a hit, but I think if you've got a few injuries and you like haven't even really got a bench player to come on, or like one of the times I did it last year is I took a -8 to get Kane captain, who I thought was the best captain for a double game week, and I also used it to kind of restructure my squad as well because I had a lot of players that were expensive in positions I didn't want them to be. But as a general rule, I think a few injuries, or if it's to get like the best captain and you've not got them, and you know you're taking out a big hitter, so you're spreading funds or whatever it might be, something like that. That's when I'd be looking at it. Ooh. Why do I think Green would get bonus points? It was a low-scoring game, wasn't it? So the defenders got a lot of points. The defenders had a lot of work to do, to be fair. So that really helped them out. I know you say the free hit is useful later on, but could you use it this week to get CR7 in? But then I wouldn't have him the week after, so that's the problem. You'd probably want him for the next few afterwards. Jota and Jimenez for Barnes and Ings. Possibly, yeah. Yeah, Jota could be a good option regardless of what happens with Firmino. I quite like those moves, yeah. Which Wolves defender to get in? Is it a good move? I think if you've got a spare transfer, then yeah, it could be. Semedo is probably the one. If I was wildcard, I'd probably stick with Sanchez, goalkeeper, I think. I'm not sure I've seen enough from the other teams to warrant changing my 4.5. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I've got content all coming this week, wildcards and everything. So, yeah, don't panic too much about that. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. I'm sure we'll be talking about Cristiano Ronaldo at some point this week. Yeah, is he going to be worth ripping up our teams for? Possibly. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will chat to you soon. Enjoy the international break as well, right? It's nice to get a bit of a break from FPL every now and again. But if you don't want that, I'll be back all this week with videos. So I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.